I'm Saoirse, and I play Mary in Mary Queen of Scots.
I'm Margot, and I play Queen Elizabeth I.
So we're gonna ask each other some questions, Margot. Quite nervous, actually.
I'm scared. If you weren't an actor, what job would you love to do?
It's funny you ask that, because we were doing interviews earlier for radio shows, and I said that exact thing, that I would love to work in the radio.
Oh, yes.
And whether it was behind the scenes or whether I was a presenter, I don't think I'd mind. I'd quite like to work on a music radio station and just not have to ever wear makeup ever again and just not have any shoes on like I do right now. What would you want to do?
Well, when I was little, I wanted to own hotels / be a magician. Thought I could do both simultaneously.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's what I want now. I would want to be still in the film. I'd need to be on a film set in some capacity. I'd miss that too much, but I'd love to work in like pyrotechnics or special effects.
That'd be
pretty
fun.
rad. What's one thing your fans would be surprised to learn about you?
My fans.
Do your fans have a name for themselves by that?
I think someone told me ages ago that they were called the Saoirsettes or something.
The Saoirsettes, that's
something
cool.
like that, yeah. What are yours called?
I once said in an interview, I was like, oh, I don't know, I didn't know I had that. And then I saw online that a fan, a very dedicated one, was like, oh my gosh, it's all our fault. She doesn't know that we have a name. Like, we're not doing a good enough job. And I was so upset. I was like, no, it's just because I don't look online at this stuff that often. But now I know they are the robbers.
The robbers.
And I so appreciate them. And they're very sweet. And I hope they know that was just my ignorance.
What was the question?
Oh, sorry. What's something your fans would be interested to learn about you?
I cannot juggle.
Oh, you can't juggle.
That's the only thing I can think of off the top of my head. I also think I'm a better dancer than I actually am. So I don't know if you're surprised. Everyone would be like, no, we all thought that. All right, king of the robbers, queen of the robbers. If you could take one personality trait of mine, what would it be?
Oh, there's so many. You're very quick-witted. I would love to have that. You can like come back with something so quickly, and it's very like cool and funny at the same time.
Thanks.
I think if I've got a good comeback, I'm so excited about it. I kind of like, and then it's no longer
everyone's
cool.
gone.
Yeah,
Everyone's left.
Yeah.
Right, guys? Right? Gone.
We've both played a diverse range of characters throughout our careers. What kind of role would you most like to play next?
I have always wanted to be in a silent film, and it doesn't necessarily have to be like an actual silent film, just a film that doesn't have any dialogue in it. I've always enjoyed doing stuff where I don't have to speak, because then you don't have to learn lines. And I would really like to play a boy, because I like the idea of figuring out what that physicality would be.
Yeah, I like that too.
So I'd quite like to do that. Splendid. What scene from Mary Queen of Scots was the most challenging for you to film?
Probably the first one I ever did, and I don't remember what it was, but I'm always terrified because once you do that first scene, there's no going back. You've committed to the mannerisms, you've committed to the accent, you've committed to their voice, everything, and that scares me. So like the weeks leading up to playing a role, I get so stressed. And once I've done that first scene, I'm like, well, I've established it now. Now I'm just going to stick to that.
Stick to it.
Yeah.
Is it a good one?
Yeah.
Is it about you?
Because you can talk about it.
Oh, great. What was it?
What was your reaction when you found out we'd be working together?
I was so excited. Margot and I met like about a year and a half before we did the film together, and I always thought you were brilliant and like fearless as an actor, and every single role you take on is completely different, and you can tell you just go for it, and you're like, all right, like what you're saying, you're like, well, I'm in it now, so I'm just going to go for it. But being able to share this with someone who is not only really, really nice, but really, really normal like you are, and you've like surrounded yourself with your crew and your core friends, and that's amazing that you still have that, even though you're, this successful woman. So, well done. You're welcome.
We're out of time, I'm
We're
afraid.
out of time, BuzzFeed.